Well, did you miss me?
I trust this will suffice.
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar! A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Oh.
That dream died long ago.
The old king.
The same.
He's embroidered his favorite games of chess on his chest. The perfect place. The perfect place.
Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
Ooh. Straight through the spawn. Staple him to bed, that's right.
By my hand.
Griffith!
Fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
Look at this whole range of elves.
We've had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Without an heir to wear the crown.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence.
Who could do this? Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet, His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
Who indeed?
Stare in the castle, just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could stand
The heels.
Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis. A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
I bet he knows. I bet he knows who. Oh no. Well, that doesn't look like Fantasyland. This looks like Real Town. Specifically, it looks a little bit like Midgar, as presented in 3D in 1997. Pages and pages. Bowed heads of the book burning. Wrong. Cool. Well, welcome back, everybody, to this very dramatic menu. Let's chill it out real quick so we can discuss the proceedings. Whew. That's a little more like it. Well, it's been a minute since I decided to put anything down. I got myself a boyfriend down in real life, and, among other things, it's made me want to be less visible on the internet, but also just had a lot less time. A lot less time to myself, a lot less time for goofing off with games. But lately I've been getting up real early and had a couple hours most mornings to goof around by myself, and I thought, maybe it'd be fun to document my time with Metaphor ReFantazio. I just finished the SMT5 re-release Vengeance and had a really good time with it. I'm a little tired of it by the end. Grabbed it on PlayStation instead of PC so I couldn't cheat myself into powerful builds. That was a mistake. I might have fought the demi-fiend and won if I could just give myself the demons that I needed. With a grind attached, it's not very appealing. But this game does not have demon fusion. So there may be, I know there is grinding in it, but it might be a little more straightforward than the head-turning, mind-melting complexity of demon fusion. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, just repetitive. Anyway, I'm not here to complain. I'm here to play. Let's turn the music back up. I'll turn it all the way up, why not? I think the balance is okay. I've fucked with the settings a whole bunch. We're running a mod, the Fix-It mod, that does things like removes motion blur during sprint. Very welcome. Let's just go for it. Look at that fire hydrant being dragged through the air on... What is going on over there? Anyway, let's get away from this menu music, why don't we? It's oppressive. How have you been? There's a couple people you might be. I'm sincerely interested, whoever you might be,
I can feel you watching me
from a place beyond my sight.
Whoever you are, please tell me.
Does our world pique your interest?
Pardon my curiosity.
Would you tell me your name? That is to say, tell me who you really are. The one who meets my eyes across a strange threshold. Well, I guess I'm going within. My name is indeed Trace. Yeah. A most unusual name, one I've never heard in our world, which suggests to me you might reside in a world beyond ours.
It is a curious thing.
That in your eyes, my entire world is but the dawn of a story yet untold.
Or to put it another way.
This is a fantasy.
But can it truly be dismissed as something so far removed from it?
If indeed you wish to cross our world for a time, I would first ask that you indulge one question,
Is fantasy
limited to the confines of imagination. Would you call it a powerless creation? Not always.
more than wishful thinking?
More than fiction, something capable of affecting realities beyond its bounds.
This must be what you believe.
Yeah.
I confess,
My own answers still eludes me.
But consider,
If fantasy is born from hope, a desire to make the world better than it is, then that hope can be made manifest. Thus does change come, and thus is fantasy forged into a new reality. Perhaps the story about to unfold before you will tell us. I'm thoroughly invested now myself. Let this tale begin. Normal is just fine by me. Am I ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Looks like we're in the clear. The capital's just through this desert.
Is it true then? The king is dead.
Dead.
He's more concerned with the funeral than keeping the roads safe.
Ooh.
So now the monsters are roaming in broad daylight. No soldiers to stop them. Monsters, huh? I've certainly been hearing the stories. To say nothing of the vacant throne. There's a storm coming. Mark my words. That much is certain.
What's the problem?
They're bandits!
It's a dude on a walker.
Come on, let's see some respect for the militia. Us folk, we're commoners. No crown or church will save us.
But Lord Luis will save us one and all. All we ask is a little tribute. You're with us or against us?
Ooh.
You're against us.
Uh-oh. It's an igniter! Yowza.
How'd they get rid of those?
Poor people aren't supposed to have magic. Oh, that's a very tall robot. That's a very tall robot. That's an armored core robot. Sorry we didn't record that one. It's a different kind of game, different pace.
What have we got
Good
here?
one
He's an
though.
elder.
Very good.
So he is. No horns, no knife is. Filthy gremlin like you. Oh, what's this? Looks like you've been holding out on us, boy.
A book. Don't take my book. My pagey ragey book. Oh, blood spilled.
Should have listened to us, chum. Now fall in line. Unless you want to get stuck like us.
Oh, brutalized. He falls.
I take it you are prepared to die,
Stand aside.
Yeah. Now this is not a silent protagonist, so it will be more than just his screams that we hear.
Ugh, this place already feels like a death trap. You hear all that stuff about Lord Louis saving us?
Uh-oh.
Hey, you okay? You still got all your limbs attached?
They're all here.
Well, at least they didn't figure out our mission. Definitely could have gone worse.
Not considerably.
Are you alright?
Been worse. And from the sounds of it, you're about the same.
I guess we're close to our
Don't worry, if anyone
destination.
finds out who we really are, it's all over, right? The mission's more important than either of our lives. If we screw this up, there's no going back.
Tradia Desert.
Think we'll make it?
You don't look hurt though, so that's good news. You can move, right? I'm thinking we should find a place where we can see the whole area. Use movement keys, dash, and dodge. Some actions you can perform and their corresponding controls are displayed at the bottom of the screen.
Let's go.
Cool. Oops. Oh, worms. Worms.
Watch out!
Sandworm Valmo. Yeah, those look especially dangerous, so watch out. I don't think they've noticed us yet, though. Press LT to use face sight. This ability lets us see what Gallica senses in the environment. When we see an enemy we've never confronted before, it'll show up as unknown and prepare as best we can. Oh, hope that shouting isn't too loud.
Stay vigilant.
Manticore. Manticore. Oh, he's scary. Yeah, you're scaring me, Manticore. I'm worried. This is just like the beginning of SMT5, sort of. Running through a desert with a... She's not a new companion. There it is. The Anvil Palace itself.
Just checking, but you do remember what we're here to do, right?
Leave it to me. Refresh my memory.
What am I doing again?
Oh, I don't know. The mission that's more important than our own lives?
You already said that once. You
First,
itching
we
to
get our
die.
capital and get you enlisted as a guardsman at the Army's recruitment center. This could decide the fate of the whole country. We either do our jobs, or we die.
Ooh. We either do our jobs, or we die.
And if it's all the same to you, I'd rather stay alive. So we've got to see this mission through. Come on. We don't want the sun to go down on us in the wastes. Let's pull ourselves together and get back on the road. You know what they say. Anxiety breeds the world's cruelest monsters. I mean, fairies say that at least.
What does it mean?
I can at least cast my usual spell for you. Small comforts, right?
Yep. The soundtrack is diegetic in this game.
Right.
Music was the first magic this world ever knew, after all. Makes the road a little easier.
You have to play such dramatic tunes. It's so heavy. Hey, look. That's a road, isn't it? What a relief. Grand Trad is already in sight.
Let's go.
Almost there. Let's keep moving and try to stay out of sight. Oh, we're already sprinting. Bunch of hyenas. Let's not fight them. Nice visual style. I'm sensing danger close by. Careful now.
We found something!
It's Water's Day, afternoon.
They look pretty tough. Careful now.
Hyenos. Uh-oh. This is bad. Oh no, something terrible's happening.
This land of 8 tribes and 3 nations, all blessed by the power of magic. The United Kingdom of Uchronia. The year is 785. Uchronia is shaken to the core by the sudden death of its king.
A monarch
Anxiety
gone.
is descent among the tribes.
Anxiety again, huh?
Disparities tear them apart.
Well,
And no mortal mind remembers the heroic tales upon which their land was built.
the Anvil Throne.
May this faded world be painted anew.
O great seeker, bearer of fantasy empowered. Hear my wish and come forth from thy epic of glory to grant me thy guidance.
Whoa, just look.
Whoa. It's the modern day. The concrete just looks so modern, I don't know.
Get on with it, Ned! Drop the dog! Hang him dead! Please! I've done nothing wrong! Hey, dog! Don't try to deny it! You trample the law for the fun of it!
Let it be known, for misuse of an igniter, you will hang by the neck until dead.
Oh boy. That's intense.
There's no way that crowd was going to listen to anything a Paribus said.
Such a shame. Might you spare some coin? Bless you.
Oh no, it's a range of dog boys.
Sorry.
Paribus.
Any street smarts? Come on, kid. We're not tourists here. We gotta stay focused.
Right.
You noticed back on the wagon? You might be the only elder here, in the whole city even. The capital's incredible. Just look at all the different tribes. You never see this kind of diversity out in the countryside. Not that it's very balanced. I see more Clamars and Roussants than anyone else.
Oh no.
Which means a dopey elder kid's gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Try to keep your head down, okay?
So the distinguishing feature of the Elder tribe is that they have no distinguishing feature.
Hey, did you hear what they're saying about His Majesty?
Oh, what are they saying?
I heard it was foul play, assassination.
With the gaping hole in his body?
Shh, careful who hears you say that. But it's just like the prince, isn't it? They say he was attacked in the dead of night. A war of succession is coming, I tell you.
Sounds like monsters have been prowling the countryside. They're sending the guard out to deal with them. The army's really gone to hell. It's a far cry from when we had Count Luis at the helm, I'll tell you that much.
He's
Glad to
vaping.
see how the nation can come back from this.
They're both
I'll have to
vaping.
ask if the prince was still alive.
Time is passing on us. Oh, no flashback.
Stricken. Are there none left to bear the weight of the crown?
We've done all in our power, but not even the kingdom's best. The saint could purify.
Whomst the saint?
10 years he has languished under this curse. How much longer can his body hold out? No doubt His Highness would protest. But since he cannot, we have no choice. For the man who cursed His Highness and murdered our king, there can be no mercy.
No mercy.
But there are so few of us left now. There is no one else to turn to. Will you infiltrate the military to deliver a message to our contact there? This is your mission. For all our sakes, you cannot fail.
It's my mission. Nobody's gonna tell me what the message is, though. Maybe I don't get to know. I'm just the postman.
I guess I can't blame you. Anyway,
Nope, you and the prince are pretty close.
Getting to the capital was only the beginning. Now comes the real high-stakes part. You gotta go get enlisted, so you can meet up with our operative. Remember, nobody here knows who we are. Nobody here knows the prince might still have a claim to the throne. That means if we get busted, that's it. Nobody's gonna save us. Step 1. Let's figure out where the recruitment center is. Shouldn't be too hard, considering the need for soldiers.
Why do we need soldiers? Does everyone think there's war on the horizon? Do you know where we're going? Feel free to admit that you're lost and ask me for advice. RB to open the local map. Gallica has a good idea, or so she thinks. I can save anywhere in a safe area. I guess that's Persona 5 too. This game is very Persona 5-y. Hope Count Louis gets control of the army again. Look, there's Nelda. Even those people are coming out for the royal funeral. We don't have time for detours right now. If you're lost, check your map. Just go straight down the main street and you should find the recruitment center. I'm just trying to find the fucking lore book. 'Cause we're gonna read it. The Elder tribe. The 9th tribe, distinct from the commonly known 8 tribe. Let's do that one last, because they're special. The Gallica. Oh, no, that's a person. These are people. Where's the tribes? Oh, okay, just these 4. Parapus tribe. A tribe recognizable by bestial ears and a tail. There are many variations in their hair and skin colors, including cold-colored skin not seen in other tribes. They are physically adept and often honest with their emotions, giving them a reputation for hedonism, for better or worse. They're drawn to parties and festivities, and while this happy-go-lucky charm is often to their credit, it can also be seen as recklessness. Due to this stereotype, they are looked down upon by other tribes, which prevents them from securing a foothold in politics, despite being nearly as populous as the Resant and Clamar tribes. Discrimination against them is especially obvious in large cities. The Resant, one of the most popular tribes of the United Kingdom, is second only to the Clamar. Long pointed ears are their most distinguishing feature. They often boast excellent physiques, which has given them superior martial prowess. Resant women are stronger than most men of their tribes. Many inevitably work in the military and hold key offices. They're considered as influential as the Clamar, and the 2 tribes are sometimes called the prevailing tribes. Resant and Clamar, huh? Many Resant pride themselves on outperforming others in strength. While this can be perceived as a self-disciplined competitiveness, on the flip side, there are many with a belligerent temperament obsessed with proving superiority in any situation. So they're warlike elves. These are hedonistic catboys, warlike elves, hot-blooded elves. The Clamar tribe composes the largest population in all the allied kingdoms. Their most distinctive features are their horns, which grow on both sides of their head. They have a broad diversity of facial and body types, which has essentially made them average. The Ukrainian royal family are Clamar, and members of this tribe hold a majority of important positions within the government, leading many Clamar to internalize the belief that they are the kingdom's preeminent tribe. Clamars value freedom and dislike illogical restraint. They enjoy cultivating discussion, but do not always consider the situation or appropriateness of doing so, which occasionally leads to conflict. However, some studies suggest this disposition is what drives them to seek governmental positions and other important offices. That's very phrenological right there. Yeah, they're dispositionally inclined toward government. Sure. Convenient. The 9th tribe, distinct from the commonly known 8 tribes, are condemned by the Sanctus Church for inheriting a dangerous magic heretical to the teachings of the Church. Their population is so small that to even see one in public is rare, and they face greater discrimination than any other tribe. In fact, many outside the main cities don't believe they exist. Each of the 8 tribes possesses unique physical traits, making them recognizable at a glance, such as the Clamar's horns or the Resant's long ears. The Elder tribe, though, bears no such distinguishing feature, and thus are regarded as inferior beings. The humans. Prince of Uchronia. The son and heir to the throne of King Hythlodaeus V. More than 10 years ago, a mysterious attack in the royal palace left him afflicted with a deadly curse. The curse took its toll on his body, and though he bravely endured treatment, his recovery was interrupted several years later when he and his closest aides suddenly vanished from the castle without a trace. The king exhausted all possible means to find him and was ultimately unsuccessful. He was formally declared deceased 3 years ago, and a royal funeral was held in his honor. Sanctism. A monotheistic religion devoted to the worship of the one God, the Almighty. The religion of majority across the United Kingdoms. Its sanctors preach that uttering the prayer, close your eye, with one's whole heart will reach God, bringing salvation. It is the state religion, and the sanctist hierarchy is deeply intertwined with the kingdom's politics. Currently, the crown theocracy is at the heart of the kingdom's political affairs. Kingdom of Uchronia. A union of allied kingdoms, spans the Kingdom of Uchronia, the Principality of Oceania, and the Principality of Montario, Uchronia being the suzerain, with its king holding authority over all 3 kingdoms. The original Hythlodaeus was this United Nations' first ruler, and is often referred to as the Founder King. The continent is surrounded by fast-running currents, and ships can only set anchor from the southern inland sea, where the otherwise swift currents are less violent. As a result, there have been few invasions from overseas, and the 3 countries have achieved long histories. The capital of the kingdom is Grand Trad, the largest city in the kingdom, located in northeast Uchronia. The most widespread religion is Sanctism, established as the state religion under the reign of the most recent monarch, King Hythlodaeus V. Royal capital Grand Trad, the nation's largest capital of both the Kingdom of Uchronia and the United Kingdoms at large. Also referred to as the royal capital, being the home of the palace and the seat of the royal bloodline. Known for its solid ramparts, a site which has long been emblematic to the city itself. But when the massive regolith Grand Cathedral was built, the building's grandeur became the new symbol of Grand Trad. The regolith Grand Cathedral, magic. A general term for the technique that consumes power to cause phenomena that bend the laws of nature, has a wide range of applications from modest use in daily life to destructive power in war. However, as magic igniters, which require a state permit for ownership and use, are required for people to be able to use magic, many cannot. Igniters. A tool that acts as a conduit for magic power, without which people cannot perform magic. To own or use them, one must obtain a permit from the kingdom by passing a test, with some exceptions, such as those serving in the state army. They can be costly depending on power and specifications, and purchasing them is akin to buying land or housing. The expense is so great buying more than one igniter would be difficult even with the entire lifetime income of the average commoner. In order to prevent accidents and crime, the Crown Theocracy and the Magic Association have exclusive production rights of igniters. Unauthorized production is considered a serious offense. The time needed to cast magic depends on the user's skill, but can also be slightly impacted by the capabilities of the igniter itself. While using an igniter while sedentary poses little problem, activating an igniter while moving is difficult, and it is thus advised to use them cautiously. Gauntlet Runner. Often called runners as shorthand, a general term for magic-powered, semi-automated vehicles designed for traversing the wastelands and either overcoming or circumventing local wildlife threats and magical phenomena. Traveling the wilds on foot or even in a lightly armed carriage has historically been incredibly dangerous, making any long-distance trips a life-threatening risk. However, as cities and countries grew, so too did demand for resources, many of which required transport in large quantities. The Gauntlet Runners filled the niche of an armed, sturdy vehicle that could help with transport and land development. There are smaller runners throughout, roughly the size of an armed carriage with a simple deck addition, but it's more common to see models that walk on legs with an internal living area, comparable to a modest house. Legs are more common in their design than wheels, partly because of their versatility in all manner of difficult terrain, but more so because adopting the remains and skeletons of large monsters as is more cost-effective and stronger than artificially creating all the components necessary. Music and magic. An unusual variety of magic that causes the listener to become aware of their state of mind through the form of sound and music. As it is a modest form of magic with seemingly no utility on the battlefield, it is considered a meaningless, trifling skill in society, and is thus rarely used. Wow, so then not only is their music diegetic, but it explicitly reflects my state of mind. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's amazing. I don't think I've ever encountered that before. cast a spell on me. Listen to the flustered coachman. Imbecile of a driver, how long will this take? Can't help but notice we passed the recruitment center back there. I bet I could register for the army faster than this carriage can exit the city. So hurry it up before I put a bounty on your horse's head. Now, sir, please have patience. With the royal funeral approaching, foot traffic is at an all-time high. Nice digs. Thugs. Nice outfit.
Look at that. The new model's out now.
Ooh.
Spells like a master if I had one of those.
I guess
Were those
that's
necklaces
pretty
igniters?
Everyone and their mother has a magic igniter. So many different types, too.
Now I want one.
Now I want one for myself.
Yeah, until you see the price tag. Can't imagine what it's like having to wave around some shiny stick to use magic. Me? I can whip out magic anytime I like. And I can even see the Magla in the air. Though, I'm not exactly an archmage.
Oh, we didn't read about Gallica, did we?
Never cease. A fairy and an Elden child. Are you new to our fair city?
Shady lady.
I suggest you keep a low profile. Trust me when I say you don't want to catch the eyes of the lords and ladies.
No, I'd rather keep to
I'm
myself.
getting ahead of myself. I run this humble shop. Are you in the market for an igniter? Here's something that might catch a foreigner's eye. This is modeled after the royal scepter and would make the perfect souvenir.
Tell me about the royal scepter.
The royal scepter?
The royal
I've
scepter?
never heard of it. Wow. Where do I even
I lived in the
start?
woods my whole life.
A symbol and instrument of the crown's sovereignty, passed down through generations. If you believe the legends, it houses incredible magic, world-shattering power. More practically, you might call it the world's most potent magic igniter. And in the king's hands, it was enough of a deterrent to stave off invasion.
Now he's dead. With no living heir either.
Tragic, isn't it? Kingly magic is of little use without a king.
No king, no king. Na, na, na,
I don't
na.
know why you're here, but there's trouble brewing.
Oh yeah? Can I take part? Can I participate? I'll keep that in mind. Show me the memorandum, please. Oh, Gallica, please. A fairy who accompanies traveling boy on his journey, doubling as his chaperone for his special mission. Her diminutive size excludes her from participating physically in battles, but her special fairy traits allow her more proficiency than traveling boy when it comes to sensing Magla and knowing magic. Though she can become heated when her personal values are tested, she is a reassuring traveling companion. Magla is a technical term for magic power that serves as the basis for magic. There are varying amounts in all things found in nature, including people, plants, and animals. Because it sometimes crystallizes in areas of high concentration, some scholars theorize that Magla may be physical particles too small to be seen with the naked eye. An ornate cane-like scepter is the royal scepter, passed down through generations of Ukrainian royal family, proof of their right to rule. A magical instrument of extraordinary capabilities, powerful enough to induce natural disasters. It can only be wielded by the king, and the popularly named royal magic it commands serves both the pillar of the king's authority and a deterrent to war. The royal magic. A powerful magic passed down through generations of Ukrainian kings, invoked through a unique magic igniter called the royal scepter. It has tremendous power that could bring about anything the king desires. There are several records of its use in the long history of the kingdom, be it for revolutionary or oppressive aims, but each is described as a cataclysmic disaster. It continues to represent a strong deterrent power to the royal family and the kingdom. It's a deterrent. Okay, it represents the deterrent. How was it ever used revolutionarily if it can only be used by a king? Oh, cool. You can actually paw through things. Alright, let me see. Picked a bad time to visit. I'll keep that in mind.
A word of caution then. Your survival is your own responsibility.
It's for me to see to.
Well, was unnecessarily ominous. She has a point, though. We'll need to be careful. Anyway, we don't have time to hang around chatting with the locals. We've got a recruitment office to find.
Let's head there.
Doo-doo. So this shop sells igniters. One of those sure would come in handy. Too bad we can't afford it. Aye, the recruitment place. Go down this street towards the cathedral. It will be the building on the left. You looking to enlist as a soldier? Not like there's other work for elders, I guess. Don't make assumptions. You think you're better than the grime of Sunshade Row you crawled out of? You're in for a rude awakening, boy. Oh, brutal. I joined the army because I looked up to Lord Louis, but now I got my arse handed to me if I so much as mention it. Where's the state army gonna do now? What's the state army gonna do now? We won't find any decent recruits given the messy state of things. Well, why did it advance? It auto-advanced? Shop igniter. So there's this new type of igniter. It's a bit gaudy if you ask me. It sounds like Gallica likes igniters to me. Sorry about that.
Let's go see.
Let's get back to looking for the recruitment center. I want to talk to everybody. Who's got stuff to say to me? Chat. Hope Count Louis gets control of the army again. Oh, it's an Elder. Why is one of your kind here in Grand Trad? What's wrong with me being here? Isn't it obvious? The church has made it clear. The Elder wield devilish magic that defies the teachings of sanctism. Devilish magic, she says. If you were so magical, I doubt you'd have it so hard in life. She's aggravating, but let's not cause a scene. Why is there an Elder in Grand Trad? What's going to happen now that His Majesty's passed? You have to believe me, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. A monster was attacking a town and... Come now, if that were true, the army would have already been dispatched. Enough with your daft stories. You probably just got spooked by a wild dog and mistook it for a monster. A normal man would have just moved on, yet here you are harping on about it. I saw it, a rabid monster. The hell is an Elder doing here? You're ruining my buzz. Hey, look, it's an Elder. Murmur, hey. We've nothing to fear. All we must do is have faith in God and pray to Him. The royal funeral for His Majesty the King will be held at the Grand Cathedral. Naturally, His Emerson's Fortin will be in attendance as well.
Oh God, grant me guidance.
Murmur. The newest igniters and architectural designs. This truly is the most advanced city in all the kingdom. Nobody expected His Majesty's passing. There's no heir either. The Sanctus Church had him wrapped around their finger. He was good as dead to begin with. My concern is how the annexed countries will react when they discover the royal bloodline is no more. I hope we can avoid a civil war. Maybe a civil war is warranted if the bunch of fucking racists are in charge. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Why are you pink? Not easy to get a good look at you, jeez.
So you?
Parapus went an Elder, huh? Pretty unusual in these parts. Oh, not trying to be rude, just mind yourself. Just mind yourself. The city ain't the friendliest to us inferiors. It auto-advanced again. Appreciate the advice, does that bother you? No, I'm fine. Parapus tribe or not, I can knock these fools 6 ways from Idle's Day. I only want to auto-advance in voiced. I swear there was a setting for this. Auto-advance dialogue with voice, yes. Yes. Not a place for inferiors. Look, over there, you can see the royal palace. No, wait, that's not right. That's where the Grand Cathedral is. At least I assume so, since it's off the main street. Seems to me sanctism is a really privileged thing around here. Even more so than monarchy.
Let's go see.
Yeah. Hey. Chat, chat, chat. Do, 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 do. Why is there an Elder in Grand Trad? The Magla accumulator. We really are in the capital now.
Stop!
May I ask you to step away from the accumulator? That goes double for one of your tribe. Accumulator, looks like you don't know anything. How pathetic. If you have no business here, then be gone. You're getting in the way of my work. It's a magic juicer. Look at it juicing stuff out of the air. Cool. Can she see it more clearly? No, she should be able to. That's a oversight. She should be able to see it flowing in more easily than we can. There's one of those fire hydrants.
What is there to do now?
That was no ordinary animal. There were traces of something gargantuan crawling about after all. So many rumors concerning monsters in the wasteland. Why, it's all you hear about these days. True, but I read about them in Julian's book. It claims there aren't any near the royal capital yet. Here we are, Grand Trad. Frankly, I don't have good things to say about how Parapus are treated here. We know, we don't need you telling us. We got attacked by a monster in our hometown. We had no choice but to come here. Regardless of how we're treated here, we gotta make it work. Monster. Everybody just says like monsters are just a natural disaster. Elda, you walked all the way here? Don't tell me. You ran into some trouble, huh? Oh, hold on. Probably kicked out of the carriage, were you? My sympathies. That's being Elda for you. Well, seems we've made the rounds now. And yup, people are fucking racists. Grand Trad, Regalith Grand Cathedral. I was hoping that we'd blend in with the crowd and no one would notice that you're an Elda, but people here have sharper eyes than I thought. We don't want to draw attention, but hiding your tribe is only going to make it worse. People may insult you, but do your best to stand tall. Easier said than done, I'm sure, but it's for the sake of the mission. And on that note, the recruitment center we're looking for should be just ahead. I wonder where this gate leads. Not that we should be worried about that right now. Hello? Huh? Recruitment center? What, you want to enlist or something? It's just down this road if that's the case. But an elder? Enlisting? Bloody hell, what would it be next? Would be such a sorry state if Louis was in power. The mouth on this guy. If we weren't focused on saving the prince, I'd give him a piece of my mind, but let's just grin and bear it. No, we don't want to go that way.
I'm out of ideas.
How about some fresh fruit? Oh,
That must be the recruitment center. I'll let you take it from here. It should be pretty straightforward. Oh, and if they start asking questions, just be as honest as you can. Lying will only make us more suspicious. So long as you don't compromise the mission, you're fine. Good luck in there. Not in bed. Okay, you got this.
A blue blood, are you? The army's no place for velvet-swaddled lordlings. Why are you here? Perhaps your noble family collapsed under its own weight. Is that it?
Lineage seems a strange measure for a soldier's work. I'm looking to enlist. Is that enough for you or not?
An uppity one, aren't you? Fine, lordling. Welcome to the Guard, where it'll be your privilege to die screaming and bloody in service of your country.
These are not the most adept recruiters.
Your arrogance to piss. When your corpse is plucked from the mud, do try to look patriotic.
Ooh.
Rousing words, Captain. You think threats will buy loyalty? No wonder nobody respects the Guard anymore. But I'm here now, so perhaps the kingdom isn't a lost cause.
Ooh, he's gonna turn it around. On top. I think that's the insolent pup in the background.
be gone, and be thankful you're still in one piece. All right, next. Hurry it up.
I do appreciate the wide variety of body types on display among the fantasy peoples.
Long gone. Age 18. An orphan, too. The army can always use more of those.
Just an orphan grinding machine.
To enlist.
Uh-oh, I want to fight for change. I need the money. I'm just so bored. I need the money.
I need the money.
Pragmatic, if nothing else. But I suppose a vagrant like you could use the work. So, what can you bring to our beloved corps? Any skills to speak of?
What do you think? Should we fizz? Usually we do fizz. It probably doesn't make much difference. I'm stronger than I look. Sure.
I'm stronger than I look.
With arms like that, you'd have to be. Right, last order of business. Make your mark or sign your name if you're actually literate.
Oh, this is a persona swapping game. I forgot. So there's no notion of being fizz. Oh, I named us Trace, didn't I? Well, I guess my protagonist has to have a different name then. How about... Well, Trace is usually what I give him the name. Trace Towers. What about Erwin? That's right. The name of the protagonist is Erwin. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We'll get some use out of you yet. All right, lad. Welcome to the Guard.
Yes!
I'm sure you've heard about the monster sightings, so stay sharp out there. We're shorthanded as it is, so be a good lad and try not to get killed on your first deployment.
Roger, Roger.
Here to reception. Standard issue guardsman armor and igniter. Kingdom property. So if you break it, it's coming out of your commission.
They just hand an igniter to somebody who walks in the door and enlists? What if I just walked off with it? It's worth a house. What a long line. Guess we got no choice but to wait our turn. Hello, everyone.
Let's hurry.
Well, that wasn't too much trouble now, was it? We better get in line, though, and they'll start to suspect something.
Whatever.
You're so young. Are you enlisting, too? Well, not much choice. You don't have money or a job. Reeve makes the world go round, as it were. If you want a magic igniter, join the queue. Cutting's only gonna get you chewed out. You enlisting, too? The line starts behind me, if so. Or was there something else you needed? Are you really a noble? Take it you overheard my interview. Yes, guilty as charged. I am a noble, but just of a countryside son of a lord. My family is of no real consequence. Let's just say I have my own circumstances. I'm volunteering to fight in order to protect the kingdom, foolish or not. Blast it, I came here to enlist because you can make a quick reeve here. But they really make you work alongside creepy Elda? Where'd you hear that? Oh, what'd they say? A parapus I can deal with, but Elder are right ominous. Where'd you hear that? God's own scriptures, that's where. Guess you can't expect an Elder to know shite. Let him say what he wants. Fighting someone like him would just be a waste of energy. These lowlifes aren't gods. They said the tribe doesn't matter in the army. They said the tribe don't matter in the army, but they'll probably put me up front as a meat shield. Not that I can find better work. Wish I could... Fuck. Auto-advance. Damn it. Couldn't talk to him again either. Well, y'all can go back and pause and see it. Can I not talk to him again? He still lights up as if I could. Parapus life is fodder for them. What, you're cutting in line too? Everyone will get their igniters and orders. No one ever follows directions. Why do only thugs come here? These lowlifes aren't guards. Either we die as soldiers or as specimens for igniter experiments.
Sightings.
Oh.
Of those huge monsters. You think that's why we're low on soldiers? Wish they'd have told us that. What do they call them? Something like...
Something like, next.
Another Clamar. Wait, no.
You don't look like the others.
What's Clamar? Oh, they're the horned ones. Okay. Forden. A Stephen Forden, the 78th Sanctifex of the Sanctus Church, the state religion of the United Kingdom. He holds the highest authority within Sanctism and, as such, is the leader of the Crown Theocracy. Despite hailing from the Rogue tribe rather than the more common Clamar or Roussant tribes, he enjoys a broad base of support. In the turmoil following the sudden death of the previous king, many view him as something of an interim king, given his position as the leader of the moderate faction. Recruitment Center. A center located in every city for people to apply to join the army. For those without family or means, volunteering is one of the quickest ways to earn money and social credibility. Recruitment is not always so open, but concerns about public safety due to the sudden death of the king, as well as monster outbreaks in the area, has led to an unusually long recruitment period in the royal capital.
Surely not. An elder? It's the first of your kind I've seen.
Move it. There's a priority around here. We're arming squires and children with igniters now. Wasted good gear. It's better off in my hands. Give it here.
Brute force and crude insults. The world is yours for the taking.
Care to say that again, boy?
We all have our reasons to enlist. Now get back in line.
Get back in line.
Oh, another
Oh, the music stopped.
mighty Clamar, is it?
Why did the music stop?
You think your pretty words will measure up to pure Roussant strength?
Oh, forget
Ah, I see. It was intentional.
This is a matter of pride. Now, you owe us both an apology.
Come on, no fighting in the ranks.
I wish these were full cutscenes and not JRPG cutscenes. Even if they were no more animated than they are, just so they could be a little better edited. Thanks.
Thanks. You didn't have to do that.
Just felt like stepping in. Don't worry about it. Well, see you around. Try not to die out there.
Don't try not to die out there.
Don't make my job any harder, please. Here, your igniter.
Mine igniter.
These days, most come with their own magna crystals. So with practice, anyone can use magic. To an extent, anyway. It's not the sort of thing you can master in a day. For now, newbies like you best focus on surviving.
The thing around his neck is apparently a magic igniter. The captain I spoke with earlier had one too. They must take on many different forms like I saw on the main street.
And take this too. Protect it with your life.
Royal Capital Vicinity Map.
Wow, that's a real map.
Wow.
It's dangerous to even chart the wilds, but this is full of details. Only the military could pull this together.
Listen up, striplings. My name is Captain Klinger. And as of this moment, you miserable lot are under my command. I'm sure you've all heard about our forces being tied up with the funeral proceedings for His Majesty. But if you think you're on cushy security detail, think again. First, you will be deployed to a fortress at the northern border, where you will be trained into true guards. Our veterans there will teach you the one thing you need to master if you're to survive. Pain.
Perfect. That's exactly where our contacts hold up.
Enjoy.
Good thing, I guess.
The last full night's rest you'll get. Dismissed.
Look at all the other recruits. Oh, right.
Really are desperate for new blood.
But he'll know you by your sword. He'll also know right away why we've come. And don't worry, I'll recognize him. Well, the charming captain is probably right. We should get some rest before tomorrow.
The day's gonna take over.
Hey. You awake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Sorry to bug you. Look, I just have a lot on my mind. Can't seem to fall asleep. I'd heard about what it was like in the capital, but still. When you hear and see all this prejudice out in the open, it's a lot. You okay?
Never gets easier.
Never gets easier.
Yeah, I could tell. Try to put it behind you, okay? Some people are even saying it's the lesser tribe's fault that the monsters are showing up at all. These are the same kind of people who burned down your village, remember?
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but still, the prince was kind to take you in. He cared more about who you were than what you were. I can see why you'd want to repay him. Oh, speaking of, he's the one who gave you that book, right? Can I see it?
Sure.
Sure, I guess.
I gotta say, I've been curious. Thanks. It's what you call a fantasy story, right? So it's a fantasy world made up by the author. The prince loved those kinds of stories. Okay, let's see. It says the young traveler was amazed by the world he saw. In this world, there is only one tribe. All people accept each other, and no soul is born into discrimination. Wow. So not even any fairies? I guess less differences means less to argue over. In such a world, there is no need for sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and labor. Towers of glass that reach the heavens. Safe nights with no dark shadows. Busy streets well traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. Whoa. You see, no magic, no tribal conflict. And equality for all? It really does sound like a fantasy. But it's strange to feel envious of a fictional world. Hey, are you asleep already? You know how hard it is for me to turn these pages on my own? Well.
She's small.
Good night.
She's small. Just little. It's the prince.
Shouldn't you be resting? I'm fine. In fact, I'm glad we have this chance to talk. I've been reading, and I hope that someday we can make our kingdom like the place in this book. You said it was some kind of fantasy novel, didn't you? Our lives are decided at birth, by tribal purity, or by the differences that make us who we are. I don't want that to be the world we live in. The Elder here are a perfect example. If you'd not sheltered me, I would never have survived. And yet, they burned your home down. It's tragic, and no one should have to suffer so. Someone needs to fix... You okay? Don't push yourself so hard. Reality is much too cruel. I know that. But I'll fight it. I'll fight to the end. I'm a prince. But I need to be a hero. One worthy of the throne. A hero? One who can lead. A beacon who will pierce the darkness when all seems lost. My father taught me that. In his stories, the kingdom was full of legendary heroes. So I can't give up. In my ideal world, people can believe in their future. Their birth doesn't matter. Not that I expect it will be easy. I believe in you. Familiar words. When I'm down, when I struggle, you're always there to help me through it. Let's do it. You'll be a hero. Trust me. I won't give up either. Trust me.
But what was the prince doing there? So he was spirited away from the palace. The king at least pretended not to know where he was. Then Erwin's village was burned down.
Until arrival at the northern border fort, one day remains.
The horrible thorns. I wonder how far we've come. Let's find our destination, the northern border fort. We can view info about our surroundings in the world map. Use the movement keys to hide the location you want to learn about them, press A.
Let's see here.
Was the plan to camp out here tonight? The fort's just past it.
That's where you want to go.
That's an army campsite. We spent last night there. Grand Trad, huh? Probably be a while before we go back. Capital of the Kingdom of Uchronia.
Hold on. This place here.
A fortress built to defend Grand Trad during the Annex War. After long disuse, it is now manned due to frequent monster sightings.
Hey, don't forget.
This is where our contact should be, so hopefully we find him quickly. Look at the map again real quick. Anything else to see? Wow, big map. Oh no, 120-hour video game. Let me go check time to beat. Actually, it sounds like it's only a 60-hour main storyline, which would be extremely welcome.
This place here.
Who knows how long it'll take us, but don't forget. All we can do for now is rest. You have a big day tomorrow.
The carriage transporting the new recruits
arrives at its destination. Failing here would surely lead to darker days.
The northern border fort. The towering fortress was built during the Annex War in the mountains at the edge of the territory. Even now, soldiers are sent there for its strategic importance to the royal capital and to combat the rising waves of monsters. Fresh-faced soldiers disembark from their coaches at the foot of a steep ascent to the fort, the first of many uphill battles.
Cute. What border is that, though? It's the fucking ocean to the north, and they said no one ever arrives by sea.
Oh, finally. Can hardly feel my legs.
Listen well, you backwits. The battlefield is no place to sit on your asses, and the border front is always a battlefield. The call to arms could sound at any time.
Captain Klinger.
You have the honor to serve at the command of Captain Klinger, war hero, tactician, master of arms. When I earned rank in the trenches, forged in the blood of my comrades.
Spare us this drivel. Say, friend, I'm curious. What is it about that book that's captivated you so?
A world with only one tribe.
Tales of a world united as one tribe.
No discrimination, eh? A far cry from our world, then. So it's describing a better world. A utopia, perhaps. I'm something of a reader myself, but that's not like any book I've read. You know, when the king took the throne, he was quite the idealist himself. He made grand claims about unifying the people under his rule. Never managed to do it in the end, of course. Reform takes more than high-minded, eloquent speeches. Maybe he was too blind to see that himself.
Listen to you. A babe with his first sword thinking he knows better than a king. Keep your mouth. Shut.
The book Erwin carries with him. It's a memoir-style novel depicting a country with neither magic nor the notion of tribes, where people are not discriminated by birth, quite literally a fantasy world. It was designated as a forbidden text by the Sanctus Church 10 years prior, and most copies are thought to have been burned, making it hard to come by in the present day. It is a well-bound book that would be unusual for a commoner to own. Northern Border Fort. A defensive fort on the northern edge of Ukrainian territory, also bordering the country of Oshana to the west. Built before the kingdom's unification, this old stronghold has outlived its political and strategic relevance, and is most often used as a training ground for new soldiers. Magla crystals are crystallized clusters of magla that form naturally in places where high concentration are left to fester, though scholars have recently developed methods to create them artificially. The color of the crystals depends on the formation process and its impurities. High-purity natural crystals are indispensable in producing high-performance igniters. As a result, some value them higher than gems and precious metals. Areas where crystals are abundant are often claimed in the name of Crown as mining sites. However, people have long whispered that magla crystals are dangerous to those who deal in them. Such statements are largely regarded as hearsay because there's little evidence to support it, but recently even the state army has grown more cautious with them as reported incidents are on the rise.
No one cares what you think. Nobody asked you. Something to say? Go on. I'm listening.
How did that end there? What did they say about the magla crystals? People who deal with them, they're just generally dangerous, and incidents are on the rise. Do they cause you to mutate or become sick, or what's the deal? Incidents of what? Is it a fight you want?
If it's a fight you want, draw your blade.
Didn't think you'd just challenge me straight out. You've got guts for a lesser tribesman.
That's me, lesser tribesman.
I'll let it go this time, but only because I like your friend. Next time, keep your complaining to yourself.
That's the
Yowza.
Now, I suppose I deserved it in part, speaking ill of the dead and all.
I guess you were. He was rich. It's okay to talk ill of rich dead people.
Bad habit seems to have drawn us together. Oh, never got round to an introduction. I'm Stroll.
Hey, Stroll.
Leon Stroll, son of the Count of Harlia. And you are?
I'm Merowyn.
That's my name.
I have that right? It's got a certain weight to it. For what it's worth, my title doesn't mean much. Here and now, we're peers and equals.
Yeah.
By the skin of my teeth! Now, where was I? Right, as for you, fresh meat.
Someone help!
Is that a soldier? Hey, speak to me, man. What happened?
Listen. Stay on guard. It's too...
Not one of mine. Must be one of the fort's guard. Those damn vultures across the border. They must have heard about the king's death. Anyway, to the fort. Double time.
Not one of mine, must be one of the fort's guard. Those damn vultures across the border, they must have heard about the king's death. Interesting.
Stay behind to see to the poor bastard's wounds.
You want us to go on ahead? Alone? Shouldn't we at least send a team back to ask for...
I knew fear would take you at the first step. You want to turn tail? Are you a traitor to the cause?
Well, are you?
There's no place for cowards.
None.
You are part of His Majesty's Royal Army.
Hell yeah.
Fight with pride, and we'll all have medals this time tomorrow.
That sounds right to me. We're warriors.
Up there is our first chance at glory and riches.
Glory and riches. Hell yeah. Uh-huh. You know what I'm gonna do? Is I'm gonna stop recording this.
This is what we signed up for. Onward to the fort then.
I'll post it, but I don't think I'm gonna continue. I don't have that much to add. The problem is it's fully voiced.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
It's fully voiced, so there's not much for me to do, really. Yeah, so I'm just gonna turn it off. It was fun, but I wanna play by myself. See you soon.